16,000 men have played in the National Football League, but only a handful have earned their ticket into the game's collective memory. Some will be remembered for a single play or for a single game. Others still will be remembered for careers that made an indelible mark on the landscape of professional football.
In the second half of the 21-yard line, Walter needs 2 to break the record. High formation, quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it, he's on it with a 25 to the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher, surpassing Jim Brown.
The record breakers of today owe a debt of gratitude to the groundbreakers of yesterday. The pioneers of the pro game worked in the mines and mills of Pennsylvania and Ohio by day, practiced at night, and played games on their day off. Pro football is now a full-time profession. And while the fundamentals of the game remain the same, how the look has changed.
Giving the ball to Blyer. Blyer reverses it to Swan. He gives it back to Bradshaw. Bradshaw firing for Cunningham. A Pittsburgh touchdown. How about
that? Indeed, the look and style of the game has changed. Yet one thing remains constant, and that is the desire to be the best.
And a brand new single-season rushing record for the outstanding star from Southern Methodist. Art Monk has just broken the National Football League record for receptions in a single season. The crowd is on its feet.
They should be. What a great record to break.
Out of the shotgun. Here's Marino. Wide open field. Throws for a touchdown.
This is the story of but a few men who gave nothing less than their best, whether for a career, a season, a game, or a single moment in time. One debate in pro football may never be laid to rest. Who is the greatest running back in NFL history? Some say he wears number 34 for the Chicago Bears. Others believe that while Walter Payton is a true superstar, there is only one Superman, Jim Brown. Brown was both locomotive and speeding bullet. He was a power runner whose power was beautiful to watch. Conversely, Payton is a beautiful runner, pure magic in motion. These men are the pace setters of the pro running game. Their styles are different, yet their results are the same. And so the debate rages on. Who is the best?
Well, there's no question in my mind, in all due respect to Walter Payton, I just don't think that there's ever been a back like Jimmy Brown, a guy that had that tremendous size, the tremendous speed, the ability to make the big play, to break tackles. He did it all. He did it for a long period of time. Payton has done it all. He's done it for a long period of time. But I just think that Jimmy Brown is bigger and stronger.
For some reason, everyone wants to say Walter Payton is good and then put in a disclaimer. Because Walter Payton is good if you talk about all around, but the best is this guy. Then they want to get, and no one really has ever talked about Walter Payton as being as great as he is. I think as great as Walter Payton is, I think he's underrated.
The big thing I think that Brown had over Payton is Brown always played with a better team, I think, than Payton did. But I still think that Brown, to me, was the ultimate player because of his size. He was bigger than Payton in his speed. And I don't think he was ever really tested to his greatest ability. I think he walked away from it before maybe he had his greatest challenge.
The difference between the two players is that Payton is a much more complete player. Jimmy Brown was the greatest with the ball. Without the ball, he wasn't a great player.
People say to him, will say about him, he wasn't much of a blocker. They didn't ask him to block very often. Wasn't much of a receiver. That wasn't part of their passing game. He was just an unbelievably punishing performer in a different kind of game than we have now.
He believed in what he was as a ball carrier. And so we ended up by utilizing what we could get him to do best. I used to say, why shoot a pop gun when you got a cannon that you can use to do some good?
I think Walter Payton is the best football player. I didn't say he's the best runner. He's the best football player I've ever seen because he does everything. He runs with the football tremendously. He's durable. He does whatever we ask him to do.
Even as a rookie, Jim Brown proved he could accomplish whatever his team asked him to do.
And when we drafted him, I thought he was going to be a great back. It turns out that, for my money, he's the greatest running back of all time.
Brown left a lasting impression on friend and foe alike.
Jimmy Brown did things humanly impossible. And I watched him do it over and over and over. You watch a film of Jimmy Brown running a football. He's moving away from things that there's no way that he could see. There are instincts that other football players had never even thought of, I'm sure. He had all of that, plus he had the great determination to be the very best.
No running back has been so great for so long as the man they call Sweetness. For 12 seasons, trying to stop Walter Payton has been a sour experience indeed.
He hits harder than any man in football for his size. And he also plays so aggressively that he's able to take a man on one-on-one physically and beat him, or he can make the man miss. So this is the fiercest competitor in football.
He's one of these guys that says, I'm going to get you before you get me. And that's the way he plays.
Payton displays the balance of a ballerina, and his creativity on the field proves that no two of his runs are choreographed the same. And no one in the National Football League plays with Payton's brilliant recklessness and determined style of play. In 1984, Walter Payton surpassed Jim Brown as the NFL's all-time leading rusher. Yet numbers are not the measure of Payton or Brown's extraordinary talents. They are mirror images of unmatched success. And while it will never be resolved who is superior, let it suffice to appreciate each man for his own unique contribution to professional football. For when you speak of running backs, Jim Brown and Walter Payton are the best. For the past decade, two receivers, Seattle's Steve Largent and San Diego's Charlie Joyner, have not so much rewritten the NFL record books as published their own version of it. Neither men were or are prototype wide receivers, and both came from obscure backgrounds to rise to the top of their profession. In the fall of 1968, a Houston Oilers scout named Tom Williams arrived at Grambling College in Louisiana to observe a promising pass catcher from nearby Lake Charles named Charlie Joyner. Williams was impressed by the stylish receiver and convinced his team to select Joyner on the 4th round of the 1969 college draft. The steady but unspectacular Joyner lasted 3.5 years in Houston before he was traded to the Cincinnati Bengals in a 4-player deal. After averaging just 23 catches a year in 7 seasons, Charlie Joyner gave little indication that he would ever rank among all the best.
Charlie had some flaws in his play early on in his career. He was traded to Cincinnati, traded from Cincinnati to San Diego, and there were some reasons for it. He had a tendency to fumble, other things would happen, but he just persisted and worked quietly at his job. He's a great competitor that has icy poise throughout any contest before and after.
The dedicated Joyner then helped the San Diego Chargers rewrite the record books on forward passing.
And I think I prepared myself knowledge-wise to try to overcome that lack of speed, that lack of quickness. And if I can keep the zeal, the enthusiasm for the game, I think I can play the game for a long time, as I have.
In 11 years with San Diego, Joyner's impact was felt not only in the record books, but by his teammates as well.
There's two ways to be a leader. One is a holler type guy, and the other is by example. There's some guys who can do both, but Charlie leads by example. Every day he leaves that locker room at 5 minutes to 1 to go down on the practice field, to stretch and to do a little running to get loose before the rest of the team comes down. You can always count on those things, just like you can count on Charlie on the field on Sunday.
Respected throughout the league, Charlie seemingly had few worlds left to conquer. But on a chilly November day in Pittsburgh, Joyner finally did experience something new. The durable wide receiver had a date with history. With this touchdown catch, Joyner tied Washington's Charlie Taylor as the NFL's all-time receiving champion. Within moments, the record was Joyner's alone.
Luther back to throw with all the time in the world, completes it to Joyner at the 50, and now Charlie Joyner is the all-time leading receiver in the history of the National Football League. And now the Chargers are coming out off the bench to greet Charlie, shake his hand.
10 years from now, what do you want people to say about Charlie Joyner when he gets ready to head for the Hall of Fame?
Just that I was a good football player. Not a great one, not a bad one, just a good one.
Hot on the heels of Joyner's records is Steve Largent. He has emerged to become the Seahawks' best offensive player, even though he never fit the classic mold of an NFL receiver.
I think coaches and scouts in general have a stereotype for what they want for the perfect wide receiver, and they want a guy that's going to be about 6'2", and he's going to run a 4.5 every time he is timed in the 40, and he can leap tall buildings and catch passes over the middle, and there's not a lot of those type of guys around.
Craig goes under center this time, drops back to pass, little pump fake, looking, now he's going to get hit, he throws in the end zone, caught by Largent, touchdown Seahawks!
Tell you what, for a guy who's got no speed, he's too short to be able to play. All he does is make the plays. He just wants the ball more.
I'm not a great athlete, but I think I'm a good football player. I've played for a long time, and I know a lot about the game, and because I've been around for a long time now, you know, my football instincts are pretty good. I try to be in the right place at the right time.
The right place is usually the end zone. The right time is when the game is on the line.
He will mesmerize you and just flat turn you around. There's no way you can cover him if you look in his face or at his shoulders. You have to know that every game we go into, they're double covering him or keen on him on certain situations. And when he comes up with the catch, you just realize how great he is.
Fueled by competitive fire and professional pride, Largent has averaged over 1,000 yards per season for 11 years, and at age 32 is just 13 touchdowns short of breaking Don Hudson's all-time mark for receivers.
Regardless of the situation, I found that, you know, I compete just as hard at the beginning as I do at the end, and as a receiver, what that really means is just being consistent in what you do on the football field, that your routes are consistent, that you catch the ball consistently, that you're doing your proper assignment consistently.
Largent's standards of consistency have made this overachiever one of the most respected players in league history.
You know, the world is full of unrewarded geniuses, men with great God-given talent that never utilize it, never materializes. Steve maximizes his God-given talent.
everything he's accomplished on the football field, as professional as he has been, he is that and much more as a person and as an individual, and more specifically as my friend. And I really value that much, much higher than what he does as a professional football athlete.
He is valued and thought of very highly. I think, though, in the future that history will prove that he is one of the finest receivers, if not the finest, to ever play this game.
Large and out wide to the right. Back Craig, a quick pass. There it is. And that'll do it. A new NFL record.
Ironically, on the same day and the same field that Largent caught a pass in his 129th straight game, Charlie Joyner, too, made history again.
Bounce with high formation back, is back to pass. Stays strong in the pocket, delivers up. Joyner's got it, and he's got a new record. So now Charlie Joyner is the all-time career reception leader and the all-time yardage reception leader in the National Football League.
Dedication and discipline, rather than size and speed, allowed both Steve Largent and Charlie Joyner to give the game all their best. The 1982 season was an unusual one for the flashiest running back in Dallas Cowboys history. After 8 games, Tony Dorsett's longest run was a mere 19 yards. But on a Monday night, your capabilities, and you do it. Such was the case with Roland Hooks, an inconspicuous running back with the Buffalo Bills. In 1979, Hooks accomplished something that no other running back ever has before or since.
It is second and goal, just inside the 5-yard line. The give is to Roland Hooks, and he dives in for the score. Joe Ferguson handing off to Hooks, sweeping right at the 5, 4, 3, he's in. Roland Hooks scores. And Fergie handing off to Hooks, a breaks up the middle to the 20, he's down to the 15. Down to the 10, to the 5, into the corner, touchdown!
In just the second half against the Cincinnati Bengals, Hooks got his hands on the ball 4 times, and 4 times he scored.
And here comes Ferguson handing off to Hooks, and Hooks trying to find a hole, Chris Free, gets inside the 30, down to the 25, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and he scores! He broke loose at the 20-yard line. Roland Hooks, and he runs in.
Opportunity knocks on the doors of those who earn it. Roland Hooks, a 10th-round draft pick, seized the opportunity to go where no man had ever gone before, as did Stephone Page, a receiver who earned a spot on the Chiefs roster as a free agent.
I was telling myself that day that I believe something big is going to happen. Well, I had said that to myself all that morning, that something big is going to happen. On the first play of the game, we came out and I caught the first ball and I took him to the end zone. And then from then on, it was just, things started just falling in place. One thing led to another.
Third down and 12 from the Kansas City 16. Backpedaling is Kenny. Great time. Goes long. A spiral down the middle. Cut.
On that afternoon in Kansas City, Stephone Page laid siege to the second oldest record in National Football League history. Most receiving yards in one game.
We're going to have to add it up. It's going to be over 200 yards. He's got the second half to go.
You know you're only 6 yards away from 300. I'll get it. The all-time record. What's the record? Yeah, the all-time NFL record. Hey, no. Yeah. Go on, boy. You got it.
Back to pass. Kenny throws
there it is.
Side. Caught by Page. He's got the record.
In the record book, with 309 receiving yards in one game, goes the name of Stephone Page. One name you won't find in any record book is that of a 22-year-old Texan whose career virtually began and ended on the same day. He is Clint Longley, the cowboy quarterback turned country songwriter.
Well, I didn't cheat much, and I didn't lie, so you...
On Thanksgiving Day 1974, his brief football career left behind one exquisite moment.
I've got a lot of notoriety around Thanksgiving Day. You've got 60 million people watching on Thanksgiving Day, and that particular game with the drama that was involved, it just kind of burned people's memories.
When the Redskins knocked Roger Staubach from the game, all that stood between them and victory was a baby-faced rookie quarterback named Clint Longley.
Clint Longley is the hope of all obscure players. They come off of the bench in a tight situation and go to and have a the great glory he had that afternoon. That was a tremendous performance. You just couldn't believe it. You know, when you lose your quarterback and you're up against Washington, who's a good football team, and you're behind to start with, and you hadn't had much success all day, you don't expect things to happen like that.
I was excited about going in. I was as prepared as you could prepare a rookie. I didn't really have the total concept of NFL defenses. I was kind of an enigma. Nobody knew me, and they had me billed as the Mad Bomber, you know, some kind of an irrational guy that goes in there and just that didn't really fit into the Dallas mode.
This gunslinger demonstrated a fast draw and hair-trigger release, and even though he had not played a down all year, he sighted in on Billy Joe Dupree for his first touchdown pass.
Wayne Nye made the comment is that when Longley got in there, he just looked back and he just looked, well, is anybody open? And he just, you know, threw it. And that was his statement, the triumph of the uncluttered mind.
While Longley was the gamble in this high-stakes game, Walt Garrison was money in the bank inside the 5-yard line. Garrison's touchdown earned the Cowboys a 17-16 lead, a lead that vanished when Dwayne Thomas, a ghost from the Cowboys' past, materialized in the end zone.
I woke up with about 3 or 4 minutes to go, and I asked to go back in there, and of course Clinton was having a good game, and Landry looked at me like I was crazy.
There was no timeouts left, so anything short of the end zone would have probably run the game out. The play came in, Drew Pearson said, watch me. He said, I'm going to burst him underneath and turn up.
And caught the ball about the 3 or 4 yard line and went in untouched.
Ignoring keys and coverages, Longley answered the call to glory and simply did what he did best, throw the football and win the game.
In NFL terms, I'm going to only be remembered for that one moment, and that's fine with me. I left professional football, you know, very satisfied with some of the things I'd done, unsatisfied with some others. It's not what I did, it's what I didn't do. Hey, don't edit that one. Thank you.
They are the masters of the game. Those teams which have excelled and dominated professional football for what may be a moment or a millennium. The faces bear the distinct look of a winner. Only the uniforms seem to change. They possess confidence born of success, teams which deserve the moniker, the best. In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, such a group of men became living legends. But on game day, this band was living hell. The ravenous steel curtain defense propelled Pittsburgh to 4 world championships and became the standard against which future defensive units were measured. While the men of steel established a reign of terror in the 70s, the men from the Midway continued that tradition in the 80s. The Bears intimidate you, battle and beat you with both force and finesse. In 1984, Chicago set an NFL standard with 72 quarterback sacks. In 1985, they led the league in 9 defensive categories and were crowned world champs. In 1986, they established a new mark for fewest points allowed in a season. Such heroics harken back to the great Bear defenses of the past.
We are the new monsters of the Midway, and I don't like to use the word mean, but when I look at the film after we played, once we get out there on the field, you know, we are pretty mean.
It's like a pack of wild dogs. You know, if one of them's mean, they're all going to be mean.
3rd down and 5 from the 20. The ball the play, pick up the football. It's picked up on the play by the Bears. it into the end zone for the touchdown is Wilbur Marshall.
He got the sack and recovered the fumble and touchdown all in one.
Did he get the sack?
He went right through Eric Hipple.
We're on a mission, and our mission is to be the best that we can possibly be, and that's what's happening.
With confidence bordering on arrogance, the Bears steamrolled their way to their first NFL title in 22 years. They shut down New England's offense and opened up the game with some scoring punch of their own when Reggie Phillips became the 11th defensive player to visit the end zone in 1985. For the first time in history, a defensive coordinator rode off the field in victory, a testament to the best defense in the NFL. The best offensive line may have been assembled in St. Louis in 1975. Anchored by 3 All-Pros, the Cardinals allowed only 8 quarterback sacks, a league mark which stands to this day. This unit gained notoriety for its pass-protecting prowess, yet guard Conrad Dobler stood out among the pack, perhaps not so much for his skill as his reputation as the meanest man in pro football.
I think my only regret is that because of all this hype, because of all this good copy, people forget that I was a player of substance. I was the best at my position at one time.
Just as Dobler's achievements might have been overlooked, it's easy to forget what the New England Patriots quietly accomplished in 1978. Led by Sam Bam Cunningham, the running attack produced the best rushing season ever with over 3,000 yards. Cunningham, Horace Ivory, and Don Calhoun, number 44, shared the spotlight as each back gained over 500 yards on the ground. Even quarterback Steve Grogan dashed for daylight as the Patriots ran with the intensity of competitors in a marathon dance contest.
Backs are split. Grogan on a draw to Ivory inside the 20, inside the 15, inside the 10. He's all the way down to the Miami end zone for a touchdown. Horace Ivory, a brilliant 23-yard touchdown run.
While the Patriots produced the most prodigious running game in history, the prototype for the modern passing attack was the 1950 Los Angeles Rams, a team that piled up points at a dizzying pace. Despite using a revolving quarterback system featuring Hall of Famers Norm Van Brocklin and Bob Waterfield, the Rams averaged close to 39 points per game, a league record. While the explosive Rams of the 50s symbolized the atomic age, the Miami Dolphins of the 80s boasted an aerial attack that embodied Star Wars sophistication. No offense in history has possessed such quick strike capabilities as these whirlwind Dolphins. Their receivers defy gravity. Their quarterback defies defenses geared solely to stop him. In a single season, 1984, Dan Marino accomplished more than some players do in their entire career, setting league marks for yards, touchdowns, and completions. It's not surprising that by his 4th year, Marino became the NFL's highest-rated passer.
He is the best football player in the league right now. To my mind, he's the best quarterback in the league, and I think if he keeps on playing the way he has played, he will go down as the best quarterback ever to play the game.
Probably the best offensive weapon in the league. He can make 40 yards at the flick of a wrist. I've never played against Walter Payton, but I've played against O.J. Simpson and a bunch of great players, and I've never been more impressed about any one man than I was about Dan Marino.
Marino has made an indelible impression on his peers with a unique combination of power and precision.
Play fakes back to throw. He's looking deep up the near side. Got a man down there. Touchdown! Dolphins!
Dan Marino, a master at his craft and the best in the game today. One of the few untouchable records in pro football belongs to a man of the earth, a modern-day Viking whose lust for adventure knew no bounds. He was the rarest breed of athlete, one who gave the game infinitely more than he took. Over the course of 20 NFL seasons, Jim Marshall played 282 consecutive games at defensive end, a record for endurance that will never be broken. Endurance, the ability to sustain without yielding, to bear with patience. Those were the qualities that made Jim Marshall a legend.
Never known a man who gave more of himself every game than he did. I never saw him not ready to play. I truly did not ever see him not give all of himself. You know, we talk about 100%ers. He was the epitome of 100%.
In Minnesota, Marshall was not merely admired. He was worshipped by his fans, his teammates, and by his legendary coach.
But Jim Marshall was a special kind of person. I always called him Mr. Marshall. And we had a good relationship. He was our captain as long as he was here. He was exactly what a captain should be. And if I would say, okay, guys, let's do this, Jim Marshall would be first in line. And if we had a rookie in the lineup and say, well, there goes Jim Marshall doing this, full speed, full bore, played 15 years, hey, I got to do it. And those are the kind of people you have to have in a football team. Jim Marshall was very special.
If ever there was an indestructible football player, he was number 70 for the Minnesota Vikings, Jim Marshall. And if Marshall has an enduring soul partner in NFL history, it is George Blanda. Many times he was a man for the moment who became a hero for the ages.
George Blanda came to pro football in 1949, spanning 4 decades, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. He played 26 incredible seasons for the Chicago Bears, the Houston Oilers, and the Oakland Raiders. It is accurate to say that his miracle season in 1970 made the greatest impact on pro football for heroism and thrills that the game has ever known.
They're going to try a field goal from 53 yards. The odds against this must be about 76 million to a half. It's 20-20. Left hash mark. Stabler will hold. 7 seconds to go. Here it is. Snap. Spotted. It's kicked. That's got a chance. That is good. It's good. Holy Toledo. The place has gone wild. Woo! I don't believe it. I don't believe it. The Oakland Raiders 23. The Cleveland Browns 20. George Blanda has just been elected king of the world.
No one would have guessed so grand a destiny for a 43-year-old man who quit the Bears in 1959 after 10 frustrating seasons as a third-string quarterback. In 1960, Blanda got a second life when the Houston Oilers of the newly formed AFL lured him out of retirement. In his first 2 seasons, he passed the Oilers to 2 championships and set a league record in 1961 when he threw 36 touchdown passes in a single season. By 1966, however, Blanda was considered too old for the rigorous conflict of pro football. Houston put him on waivers, and no one seemed interested in a seemingly washed-up 40-year-old quarterback except the Oakland Raiders. For 3 years, Blanda waited on the sidelines, an old soldier supposedly too old for battle, but too proud to fade away. On October 25th, 1970, after Darryl LaMonica was injured against the Steelers, Blanda replaced him and passed the Raiders to victory. And for the next 4 weeks, George Blanda captivated the country with his miracle finishes. At an age when most players are watching games from the comfort of their living rooms, Blanda was winning them. And in 1970, he was named the NFL's Player of the Year.
George Blanda had a God-given killer instinct to make it happen when everything was on the line. It is true that great men inspire in others the will to be great, George Blanda inspired a whole nation. He knew how to lead. He knew how to win. I really believe that George Blanda is the greatest clutch player I have ever seen in the history of professional football.
And with 8 seconds, George Blanda is handed the incredibly difficult job of about a 47 or 48-yard field goal. And here's your ball game. 17-14 Kansas City. LaMonica will spot at the 48. It's snapped, it's down, it's kicked. It is good! It's good! It is good! George Blanda has kicked a 48-yard...
George Blanda, I can hear the roar of the crowd. The clock is ticking down. In a few moments, number 16, you will be here at this microphone. It will be the most important play of your life, your enshrinement in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
With 2,002 points over 26 seasons, George Blanda was both a champion and a survivor, one who got a second chance and gave it all the best he had to give. They are Davids in a profession populated by Goliaths. NFL players who have achieved success against the odds. Although their faces are not perched atop traditional football bodies, their teams have gambled on their gifts and hit pay dirt. Among the human skyscrapers who comprised the New England skyline in the mid-70s was an undersized overachiever named Mac Herron. Number 42 stood tall at only 5 feet 5 inches, and in 1974 totaled more yards in more different ways than any man in history. When defenders lost Herron in a crowd, chances are they'd find him in the end zone. Herron was the quintessential triple threat, deadly by ground, air, or kick return. The Patriots discovered little things really do mean a lot, as Herron accounted for 40% of the New England offense. Mac Herron was a one-of-a-kind player, yet a few of his contemporaries are cut from the same tiny but mighty mold.
During the college draft, everybody looks at you and they put you in the computer, and the computer spits out the perfect athlete that comes out and it's going to be a dominant figure in the NFL. It's not that way. To look inside of a person, you can't measure a person's heart with a computer. You have to give that person a chance to show what he can actually do.
In one typical performance, Lionel James scored in 3 different ways, producing 316 combined yards and a valuable Charger win.
2nd and 4 from the 40. Bounce under pressure, steps up, firing long for James. He's all alone. Catch at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Lionel James.
By season's end, James had accumulated more total yards than anyone in history, proving the only measurement that really matters is the size of the heart of the man.
They will sweep to the right side with Lionel James. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. The ball game is over.
While Little Train exploded into the record books, a man named White Shoes exploited the imagination.
So now they've got to go to the end zone with 2 seconds left.
Are we talking Hail Mary, or are we talking reception and lateral?
I would say right here you've got to go to Billy White Shoes and let him do a little dance with the ball and try to go for the end zone. 49ers will come with a 3-man rush. Bartkowski to throw. He is going long down the near sideline. It's going to be a jump ball, and it is pulled down by Billy Johnson. Johnson inside the 10, 5. He is down. He is. Give it to him. He's in. Touchdown! Touchdown, Atlanta. Billy Johnson. It's a touchdown. No time on the clock. The Falcons have won it. They pulled it from nowhere.
Johnson's magnetic personality generates as much excitement as his spirited play.
Every time he gets his hands on the ball, there's electricity goes to everybody. Even me on the sidelines, when I'm can't hardly breathe, I see he's got the ball, and you got to stand up and watch him because you don't know what he's going to do.
This 15th round draft pick defied the odds against him making it in the NFL by becoming an indispensable weapon in his team's offensive arsenal, a weapon which could be fired in a multitude of ways. While Johnson's trademark was his end zone antics, his imprint was made in the record books as he became the NFL's all-time leading punt returner.
Billy Johnson will field this one. Gets around one man again. Billy Johnson. Here he goes again. Johnson off to the races down the left sideline. Billy Johnson across midfield. He's still on his feet. Johnson at the 30. Billy Johnson, 20, 10. Johnson, touchdown Atlanta.
They can copy his moves, but they'll never capture his style. For Billy Johnson's dazzling dancing has made him one of the best. Likewise, kicker Tom Dempsey's phenomenal foot has garnered him glory. Born with deformed limbs, Dempsey overcame tremendous adversity to forge a 10-year career with 6 different teams, experiencing equal measures of joy and sorrow. But for one magical moment in 1970, Tom Dempsey was the greatest kicker who ever lived.
Tom Dempsey will try to kick the longest field goal in National League history. They're sending him on with 2 seconds left. Scarpetti will hold. Here's the snap. The ball is down. Dempsey kicks. It's on the way. It is good. It's good. It's good. The Saints have won. The Saints have won. The stadium is wild. Dempsey is being mobbed. The time has run out. The Saints have won 19-17. Dempsey with a 63-yard field goal. The longest field goal in the history of the National League.
It was an emotional experience, something that you would like to relive again. I know sometimes I'm laying there in bed thinking about that particular moment. You know, that had to be one of the highlights of my life, and how you would really like to live it over again.
There are times in my life now when my day doesn't go well. When you're in the real world, which I am now, and I have to sell every day, it's not just producing on Sundays, it's producing every day now to keep your job. And I haven't had a good day. I walk in the house and I look up there, I've still got the football. And I sit down and I say, well, one day I wasn't too bad.
For one day, Tom Dempsey was the best.